Hi, I'm Dawn H. Jones, your HR Wise Guide. Today, I want to stress the importance of maintaining your professional registrations. Please pay attention if you work in a regulated profession where registration is essential for you to practice. Oh, and your free download this week is a checklist to help you keep your professional registration up to date at all times. Now, according to .gov.uk, a regulated profession requires a legal requirement to have a specific qualification or experience or meet an alternative condition or requirement to undertake certain professional activities or use a protected title. Regulated professions include doctors, nurses, allied health professionals, lawyers, barristers, architects, social workers, pilots, air traffic controllers, and driving instructors. Now, there are hundreds of regulated professions, and you can find them on the .gov.uk website and their governing bodies. Now, as I mentioned at the top of this video, I want to discuss lapsed registrations, which occur when a regulated professional fails to keep their registration or licence to practice current. Now, failing to have a current registration is a serious matter with significant consequences, such as you could be removed from your professional body's register, you'll be unable to practice in a role that requires a current registration, you may even be redeployed to a lower paid role if there's one available. Now, over the years, I have advised on many cases of regulated professionals, mainly nurses, who allowed their registration to lapse. Now, a lapse can happen in error due to a registrant changing banks or forgetting to update their bank details, for example. However, a common and freely cited reason for forgetting to renew registration that I and managers heard that I was advising was that they forgot to renew their registration despite receiving reminders from their regulator. Now, I promise I'm not picking on nurses, but that is what happened. Now, typically, managers would redeploy nurses in this situation into a healthcare assistant role. At the same time, they were going through the process of being readmitted onto the register, supported by a senior nurse. Now, lapsed registrations were annoying and disruptive for sure, especially when registrants could have renewed on time. But I don't recall an example of anyone being suspended or facing disciplinary action for a lapsed registration. They'd receive a stern talking to or an informal warning for sure, but no formal action. But that was back then. Let's discuss now. Depending on the circumstances of the lapse, an employer could suspend or discipline an employee. Now, please read your employer's suspension policy for their specific requirements. Now, if you've lapsed in error, for example, due to a failed payment, let your employer know. Your employer may be able to redeploy you to another role as you cannot practice as a regulated professional. Promptly find out the readmission requirements for your professional body and take action. Next, ensure that your readmission application is accurate, up to date, and accompanied by the required supporting documentation and references from an appropriately qualified individual. Now, say for example you've ignored reminders from your professional body to renew, you must still inform your employer and go through the readmission re-registration process. You may have to also answer additional questions from your employer or professional or your regulator, but the first step is to inform your employer. Now, let's talk about some help for you. It can be stressful whether you've lapsed in error or ignored reminders to renew. I know it was for many colleagues who face this situation. So here are some potential sources of help. If your employer has an employee assistance scheme, you can call them and access their counselling services or advice to support your health and well-being. Equally, your professional body may have some services that can help you. Now, to make sure your professional registration never lapses again, right? Diarise reminders on your calendar. Make a note to keep your bank details, email address, etc. up to date with your professional body. And wherever possible, renew your registration as soon as you receive the reminder. Now, if you need time to prepare a portfolio of evidence to support your renewal, schedule enough time to do this so you can renew on time. So those are some tips to help you. Remember to keep your registrations up to date so you don't lapse and you don't have those problems that comes with lapsing of your registration. Remember, be HR wise and thrive. Bye-bye.